Hi teachers, this is a short tutorial just to show you how to manage lessons in Atlas. First of all, click Sign in to Atlas, and then when you're in your dashboard, pick the course for which you want to add a lesson. Select the unit for which you want to add a lesson, and then go to Show Lessons and Unit Lesson List. Here you will get the option to add a lesson by clicking on the Add New Lesson button. What you want to do is give your lesson a title. And if you want to select a duration. Also, you might want to add editors. Adding editors is very useful for courses on which people are collaborating. So if you create a lesson and you have an editor added to your lesson, then that person can also edit the lesson and you're sharing the lesson at that point. So check with your collaborators on your course and maybe your divisional admin to see if this is something you want to do. Then you can go ahead and click Save. And then when you've done that, you can click on Choose Standards to select the standards that this lesson addresses. These are the standards that you chose when you created the unit. So that's the standards that you have to choose from. Go ahead and click Save. And then you can go down to the lesson template area. This is where you want to fill in the details of your lesson. You can go Manage Lesson Templates. If you click on Daily Lesson Plan, you will see a detailed example of the kinds of things that the school expects in a lesson plan. Then most of the time you want to click Daily Lesson Planner without examples so you get the outline that you can just fill in. Once you've done that, click Insert. And here you can now start adding content to your lesson. And you can also do an attachment where you can add a file, something that you actually teach, something that you use for this lesson to the lesson. And then once you're done, you don't actually have to do anything to save the lesson. If you scroll up, you'll see it says Saved next to the Show Unit button. So the lesson's already saved. Everything you've done is saved automatically. What you do want to do, perhaps, is click on the Show Unit button so you can see the unit content, standards, enduring understandings, assessments, whatever that you might want to reference in your lesson if you need that. If you don't need that, again, you can just hide it by clicking on this Show Unit button. And once you're done with the lesson. To get back to your unit, probably the easiest way is to click this little link here to the unit itself. Now I'm back to the unit and I can see my unit. If you want to add additional lessons, of course, you can click Show Lessons and go Unit Lesson List and do this whole process again. But this is basically the easiest way to just create a lesson. Now, something else that comes up is if you are collaborating on a unit and there are lessons that someone else created, what do you do to access those, edit those? How does that work? So the way that this works in Atlas is that if I did not create a lesson, I can't modify the lesson unless I was added as a lesson editor by the person who created the lesson in the first place. To show you how this works, I'll go to a course and I'll go to the lessons in the course for a specific unit. And obviously, I am not a history teacher, so I don't have access to these lessons. These lessons were created by Ashley Moore. And so I can see the lesson if I click on it. I can see the lesson, but I can't edit any of it. So if you're a collaborator on a course and you see a lesson that you want to edit, or you agree mutually to edit this lesson, again, check with your divisional admin about how this works. But once you've confirmed how that's going to work, you have a few options to edit this lesson. You can say, click on the Actions button and say copy the lesson. You'll see the whole lesson list for that unit with checkboxes that you can select the lessons you want to copy. I'm just going to copy, let's say, this lesson right here called Mini Olympics. Then you select the course you want to copy the lesson into, and the unit you want to copy the lesson into, and you can say copy. Now, if it's the same course, then you would be copying it from the course into the course, but it's copied as your lesson that you own and you can edit at that point. So if you say copy, you'll see you can go back to your unit and your lessons that you are in charge of. And here's the Mini Olympics lesson now that I've copied into my statistics course. And I am now able to click on that and edit the lesson. So at this point, I can edit the lesson. Now I am the editor and no one else can edit this lesson. The other way to do that is, again, to go to this person who owns the lesson and ask them to make you an editor. Then you can actually edit the master copy of that lesson. And then that would show up here for everybody in the course, and in that unit, anybody who's a collaborator will then see the same lesson. They'll see who are the editors, and they're referencing one lesson. So that's a choice that you have to discuss with your collaborators and with your admin about how you want to do lesson editing. I hope this tutorial was helpful. Thank you.